Nah, it's not worth mentioning it. Never mind.
Not worth mentioning it. All right.
There's rumors that Hell Let Loose will be the PlayStation 5 free game for October for the
That'd be fun.
PlayStation Plus. It's a shallow rumor. That's why I'm not really comfortable saying anything about it.
You heard it here
I
first.
don't know if do we want
This is
that?
in now. Welcome to the Campfire Gaming Podcast. This is Matt. I will be your host tonight. Joining me, as always, is Chris and Rich. How are you fellows doing?
Doing good. Is that the intro you're going with?
Son of a bitch, you worked it into the intro.
Yep. Now it's in the intro. So
God damn it. I can't cut
rumors flying everywhere. Started with Chris. Hell Let Loose free game in October for PlayStation 5. Rumored. Right, Chris?
that. Heavily rumored.
Heavily rumored.
Yeah, it's based off a screen that disappeared, so who knows?
Well, people who know secrets do tend to disappear.
Uh-oh.
And screens. Screens do too.
Screens disappear a lot.
He's video.
So what are we
just cut
talking about
strings.
tonight, Matt?
Right.
We got a lot on our plate tonight. A bunch of, it's kind of just going to be a news heavy episode. A lot of random stuff. Our kind of big key talking point will be the PlayStation Showcase, which happened the day after we recorded our last episode. As a lot of news happens, is usually seems to happen the day after we record. So here we are. A lot of exciting news there. A lot of exciting news outside of the PlayStation Showcase. But to get started, be sure to check us out on our social sites, Campfire Gaming Podcast. Come join us on the Discord. We'd love to chat with you. Things are heating up over there. It's getting hot. It's getting sweaty.
hot.
There's like taco sauce everywhere.
Taco sauce and taco rubs everywhere.
I don't
Yeah.
like the Taco Bell meta that's infected our Discord.
Yep.
The T-Bell meta. I like the T-Bell meta. We're going to have to get some new emojis in Discord.
Yeah, we will.
Oh, God.
So yeah, come chat with us. You can also check us out on Camp Game Pod on Twitter. That's Mike there tweeting things at you. It's mostly Nintendo stuff, so maybe don't follow us if you don't like Nintendo stuff. No, really follow us. We love you because he posts more than just Nintendo stuff. You can also follow Campfire Gaming Podcast on Instagram. I control all that, so obviously only good stuff there for me. Luckily, no whining about Halo coming up, so I haven't started my rant there yet.
I mean, yeah, we haven't gotten started with the episode, so.
Well,
Yeah.
if you want the Halo rants, follow Matt's personal account, and you'll find it
Yep.
all right there.
No, actually, if you do want to see my Halo rant from a few weeks ago after all that wonderful news we got before and during and after Gamescom, check us out on our YouTube. Chris was wonderful and cut my 45-minute rant out of an episode.
It's almost
So
perfectly 45 minutes.
It's a dedicated video on YouTube. Also, check us out. We haven't talked about Twitch in a while. We've been so busy we haven't even streamed in a while. We'll have to get back
Yeah.
there. So
Maybe
yeah,
the
you can also
sponsor.
maybe as things get cold and we're not
Mhm.
outside anymore. But awesome. But yes, come follow us, like, subscribe, do all that exciting stuff. It helps us out. It helps you out because I mean we're probably the best thing that's ever happened to you listeners,
To the
So-
gaming podcasting world.
to the gaming
I mean, I would
industry
say
as
so.
a whole.
Yep.
Yes. So we'll kind of get started here with some quick fire stuff. We didn't really decide who was going to cover this. Anybody want to take this, or is this just going to be me talking some more?
Chris, you go ahead and take it.
All right, let's knock these things right off, and this way we can avoid Matt going on a rant with one tiny topic. For those of you that have not signed up for it yet, there is another Halo Infinite preview coming up on the 24th, which is 10 days from the recording. So what would that be? Roughly a week from when the podcast actually goes live. If you listen to it after that, I'm not doing the math for you. Sorry. That's just impossible. Darkest Dungeon 2, its early access, will start in October 26th, so about a month and a half from now. It will be an Epic Game Store exclusive. Sorry. It's just the way things kind of seem to be working right now. I'm not super
Shameful.
right. We'll be talking a lot about that. I'm going to guess next week. Game is using 3D art and centered on a main party instead of multiple parties. I vaguely recall seeing a trailer for this. Which event was that? There's so many now. I'm losing track.
For Darkest Dungeon?
Yeah. Who cares?
Uh,
Splitgate has gotten a ton of funding, over $100 million in funding. And what's crazy is they're still an independent studio.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, good for them. I'm now feeling, as someone who did buy into a different game that kind of went that exact same route, I'm getting Star Citizen vibes now, and I'm a little paranoid. But here's hoping they do the right stuff with it and know how to keep their dreams on the ground. Dying Light 2, a game that I have talked about quite a few times. I'm really excited for, and it got delayed. Fortunately, so it's closer to my birthday. It'll be available now in February, which all great games are.
You're going to have to take you a whole week off there for your birthday just to play all
darn.
these games.
I know. I can't wait to play the Evil Dead game. It's going to be so exciting. And as I kind of hinted at, you can expect us to talk about the results of the Epic Games versus Apple court case that just had their findings delivered this week. But we'll be talking about that next week once a little bit more comes out. Maybe once Tim Sweeney tweets more and sticks his foot in his mouth even more, and so on. As well as some maybe other little tidbits that are out in the world right now.
Yeah, a couple developing stories that we thought it was a little too early to cover, but we will.
Yep, the Apple v Epic stuff that could be fun.
There's a lot of interesting stuff there, so
But
I'm
that's
excited.
not what we're
to talk
talking about
it.
today.
No.
No, we are not.
Nope.
So should we pause one moment for station identification?
Yep. All right. Let's try this ad break. Freeze frame. And we're back. We don't know what we're doing. We're trying new stuff every week. Anyways, Mike's not here to join us today, and we actually have some Nintendo news. Like, what the hell? There was some other Nintendo news later, but oh well, we'll move on without him. So, yes, I guess yesterday, so it'll be like a couple days since you guys listen to this, or maybe you listen real far in the future. But at some point in September here, the price for the base Switch model was reduced. What is that? 20 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
If my math and Google currency conversion is correct, it's around $26 US. But it's getting a permanent price reduction. A lot of this is speculation just in preparation for the OLED model coming out next month. I was happy that there was a little bit more development on this. There are currently no plans for any price change in the US. So anybody...
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. Is this just for Europe, or is this going to be for the US as well?
Yeah. No, apparently good old Steven Totillo, which actually I had no clue he wasn't at Kotaku anymore. Apparently he's at a place Axios now.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do that. I haven't followed that in forever. But anyways, I guess he heard back from some Nintendo people, and yeah, there's no plans. So, which is kind of a bummer. I was kind of tossing that around as maybe they'll do a price. When the European news came out, I was like, oh, maybe they'll do like a $50 price cut, and maybe that'll be enough to go out and grab the base model. Because I mean, an OLED model would be nice to have, but it's not like leaps and bounds better. So,
I mean, I'm gonna champion Mike right here, and I'm just gonna say you should just buy one anyway. You won't regret it.
Incorrect. You championed him in the wrong corner. Because when I told Mike this, he said, "Aren't you going to wait for the Switch Pro?"
God damn it!
Gotta wait for the Switch Pro.
Nope. You don't want to wait for it anymore.
Yeah.
You just got to get one in your hands. You just got to buy it now.
Buy it now. Target had some. Should I run out? How late are they open? Anyways.
Usually till 11.
All right, guys. Can you guys continue without me?
We got this.
Sure.
I should just leave the podcast, go buy it, and come back.
Come back and you'd be like, "Hey, I got it finally." I mean, all being real though, you should get a Nintendo Switch. Like if you're really into console gaming, I think that's probably one of the best consoles out there.
I
Just for the
definitely,
sake of exclusives, like on exclusives alone, it's got great games.
I've definitely been tossing around maybe getting an OLED. I have potentially, depending how the holidays kind of unfold, I might have some traveling to do. And usually when I travel is when I go, I wish I had a mobile gaming device.
Well, it turns out there is a really good console specifically designed to do that,
Yep,
and it's called your phone.
exactly. Beat me to my joke. Fun.
I know you too well, Matt. I knew you were going there.
Yeah. Oh, fun. Some other kind of hardware news. This is good news for you PS5 owners. There is an update out meow that supports 3D audio for your TV, built your TV speakers. So they're fancy. Should have written it down. What's their 3D audio called? I forget what the engine's called. Anyways,
I have no idea.
It's supposed to be fantastic, but now they support your TV, not just headphones. So that's exciting. No need to go spend another $100 on a pair of headphones or whatever. But actually, the important update is that they are now supporting M.2 SSD drives. So if you need more storage in your PlayStation 5, you'll be able to do that now.
How do they do that with a system update?
Because they already have the port in there, the M.2 port. It's just, I'm not going to say it wasn't active, but the software, the drivers, or whatever they needed to develop,
have the firmware for it.
The OS maybe didn't recognize it or whatever, whatever they needed to develop wasn't there, but it is
gross.
now.
Look, don't think too much about it. It doesn't make a ton of sense.
It doesn't. So like what? So we're getting like, are we getting DLC for our consoles now?
That's basically what it is.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh Lord.
I do want to emphasize, please, if you are thinking about upgrading, go out to their website and actually, I'm really bad. I didn't actually look at their website, but they do have a website where you can check what M.2 drives are supported, or at least the requirements for it. So make sure you do that before you go buying an M.2 drive. They can be pretty pricey. So don't go make the mistake of buying like a version or 3 or whatever that isn't supported. Go out there and make sure you're buying the right one. So
it's very true.
Very true.
So you gotta go out, buy a really expensive hard drive for your really expensive console that couldn't support your really expensive hard drive until now.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Sony's got the hardware figured out.
Apparently. So I hear there's other updates.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of UX updates and some mobile app updates as well. I didn't see anything too notable in there. I also don't have a PS5, so maybe there's a big update and I just didn't know and didn't put it in the notes. But Chris, you're a PlayStation 5 guy. Was there any updates in there that you're like, holy shit, that's awesome?
I didn't. I was too distracted by playing Deathloop to realize there was updates for the console. So, whoops.
Maybe you need to run out to Target and buy an M.2 drive, and we'll just let Rich continue on here.
Yeah, we'll just go. Rich, you got this, right?
Yeah, you guys are gonna make a Target run. Not sponsored by Target, by the way.
Yeah,
There's plenty of other good options too, like Best Buy, Walmart, and many other good options.
Micro Center, if you're lucky.
Micro Center is also a good option.
Very good option. Very, very good option. On to some more exciting news. Anybody? I don't know the last time I played a Twisted Metal game.
It's one of the reasons I had one of the reasons I had a PlayStation 1 and 2. I love Twisted Metal.
Yeah, Twisted Metal.
I don't know.
Awesome.
I have. This will be. Go ahead. Go at the news. We can get into it.
Go ahead. I mean, you guys take it away. There's just all I saw was there's one in development.
Yeah,
there's not much news to it.
Yeah, that's all that I needed to know. Is that if there's one in development, that's awesome. What I was gonna say is that this is gonna be a really interesting experiment because as far as I was understood, the whole gun demo derby type of game was completely a dead genre. Like
Mhm.
nobody actually made those or played those anymore.
Yeah, I don't know the last time there was one. I mean, you get some of those like, what's it called? I think it's called Wreckfest. Is that the game?
Oh, the Demolition Derby game.
But
Yeah.
but like it's not just Demolition Derby. Like if there is a demolition kind of thing like that, it's mixed into some other kind of broader game.
Yeah, but nothing.
But there isn't like just a dedicated
Yeah.
destruction guns and
Well, Wreckfest doesn't give you any guns or anything like that. It's just driving.
maybe it should.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Isn't that the game where you can unlock a couch and race
Oh, yeah.
couches
It's a lot of
and
fun.
tractors? Yeah, I think I played it at a buddy's house. It was hilarious.
It is available on Xbox Game Pass right now.
Is it?
Yes, it is. I played it.
I think I got it. I think I got it for free on PlayStation because I think that was one of the games they gave away a few months back. But cool.
Okay, I just double checked. 2012, Twisted Metal on the PlayStation 3. When's the last time we got a?
It was a reboot.
Yeah.
Was
It was a reboot too. Yep.
I
Haven't
think the-
gotten a really like new one in a long time.
Almost a decade at this point.
I'm hoping that if this becomes popular and they continue to make more, that they'll make Star Wars Demolition 2.
Oh my god, I haven't thought about
wow.
that.
So that's not the only news that. So we pulled this from an article from GameSpot actually, and they're sorting somebody from where was this sourced from? VGC's sources, Video Games Chronicle. So they're citing from Jeff Grubb that supposedly that this Twisted Metal game is in the works, but that's not the only thing that is supposedly in the works. Is that there's also a potential Twisted Metal TV show in the works as well.
Yeah, that one I've heard tossed around a lot. So I that one I don't know.
Like, what would the story be there?
That's a good question. It's just so according to this article, it says a Twisted Metal TV show from the writers of Deadpool is in the works. There is a quote. There is a prestige attached to Hollywood and prestige television that I think Sony is craving a bit, but it's also good business. If you look at what happened with The Witcher and Netflix, The Witcher 3 had its second best year since the show debuted. Will that apply to everything? Ask Mortal Kombat. Certainly didn't help them at all, but
well, I mean,
we'll
like,
see.
I think the last time I played a Twisted Metal was like on PlayStation 2, right? So long time ago. But like, there was never any real story.
It's always like every character had their own little story, but it didn't like combine into a greater plot. It's kind of like a fighting game story.
Yeah, like how do you build a? I mean, I know you can. There's creative people out there, but like, I don't know. Where do you take that for a world building in a TV show?
I don't know.
That's the funny thing, though, is that like because there really isn't much to go off of, it's a blank slate. I mean, you don't really have to do much to be faithful to the source material, other than have the really iconic things in Twisted Metal, like the various, the different kinds of cars.
Yeah.
Supposedly, according to this article, Will Arnett is rumored to be voicing it, Sweet Tooth, in the Twisted Metal TV show. No official announcements, but supposedly that's what's going on.
I guess I don't know. Sweet Tooth.
If it's maybe like Deadpool meets Death Race, I mean that could be entertaining to watch.
That could be. I mean, I like Death Race.
Death
that was
Race
like the closest thing to like a Twisted Metal.
Exactly. That was a very good movie. Again, I mean,
and we're talking like the Jason Statham one, not like the
in my
Death
head,
Race
that's what we're talking
2
about.
or whatever. Because they had a sequel to Death Race. Yeah, the Jason Statham one.
Yeah, he was not in it, so no thanks.
Nope. No, it's Jason Statham was great in that movie. But I'd be really excited to see a Twisted Metal game that actually did. So this article was written a while ago. Unfortunately, this didn't get unveiled at the PlayStation show that we just saw, which is a bummer.
Yeah.
But if this is true, that's great. I mean, like that's great news. I like I said, I hope that we see this because I would like to see how well a demo derby game does of this kind of thing. Like I don't know how a modern audience is going to take that because I mean, it's always been a pretty popular franchise back in like the the 90s and early 2Ks, but it's never really been something that people are craving for.
I think if you get the right creative person in there, I don't know what way you do it, but I mean, there's got to be a way you could, twist that around and make it a fun game. Dude, be creative and do stuff. I mean, like looking at Doom 2016. Now FPS has been around, but like that old arcadey, that old 90s style shooter wasn't really a thing anymore. It was all self-regen, FPS shooters everywhere. I mean, health packs work their way out. All that fun stuff, and then id comes through, and they're like, again, it's probably a little easier with something like FPS, but it was just like, hey, let's kind of go back to the old way and improve on it. And look, everybody actually loves it because it's freaking amazing, So I don't know, maybe somebody can do that with Twisted Metal.
I hope so. But then, I mean, we're kind of living in this age where everything just kind of gets recycled and remastered. So I do worry a little bit that just bringing up a popular franchise just to resurface things could be a sign that there's just no creativity left. But
yeah, I mean, I would say keep it simple. Do something in the vein of like Rocket League or something like that. Like lean into the fact it's arena fighting a little bit. Make it it's an event in whatever reality this game takes place in.
Right.
Don't let's not fake that these characters have real big backstories for the game. It just doesn't make sense.
Also, a Vigilante 8 game would be also acceptable.
Miss that game series so much.
A buddy of mine absolutely loved that game.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can have a disco ball that shoots little beams at people. Why wouldn't you want that?
I love that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So something interesting happened. This is really old news. I don't know why we're covering it now, but we are. But there was a game announcement back in April that nobody picked up on.
I'm
Chris,
excited.
why don't you tell us a little bit about this game that was announced?
So the fact that this had been said, had only been kind of come back recently, was picked up by somebody, noticed it online, and then IGN wrote an article about it because they have to get their clicks. But basically it boils down to back in April, Randy Pritchford announced that there is a new Brothers in Arms game in the works. But his literal... I mean, I cut out the main important quote, but I guess the whole quote does have good context to it. Randy is noted to have said, "I'm not saying shit till we have it." Basically in reference to the fact that they don't really announce that they have games coming out until they're basically ready for beta. They kind of keep it close to the chest for the most part. But we haven't seen a new game in the series since Hell's Highway back in 2008, and I freaking love that game. I want a new Brothers in Arms game so badly. I can't wait.
That'd be a cool game to get back again. A cool series.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a shout out to the podcast this was on. It was Game Maker's Notebook. I'm not very good at keeping up with it, but this is, Tim Price?
Yeah, from Insomniac.
This is a podcast he does, and he's had quite a few people on, and the few I've listened to are very good. He had one of the episodes he had Reggie Fils-Aimé on, and it was awesome. It was a great episode. So shout out there. Obviously, make sure you listen to our podcast first, but then maybe go give that a listen.
If you got some free time, give it a listen.
But yeah, no, new Brothers in Arms. This could be exciting. I think I only ever played the first one when that came out. That was, I don't know, 2004, 2005.
Yeah, that was
like
original Xbox.
Yeah, it
was OG.
But I just love that. Like he just was like, yeah, it's in the works, but nobody picked up until this podcast was put onto YouTube, and then somebody must have was like, oh, okay, let's listen to it. Hilarious. Good times.
Cool.
Good times.
It's cool.
So this was not in the PlayStation Showcase.
Yeah,
but
we're still hovering around the showcase. But...
Yeah. Sony may have announced something a little bit early. So THQ Nordic is having a digital showcase this coming Friday, 9/17. So by the time you're listening to it's past, so this you'll probably be able to see the actual real trailer in HD and not some real weird shitty mirror site. But they tweeted, and there was a video of Destroy All Humans 2 reprobed. So yeah, they must have just let the rabbit out of the hat a little bit here. So, but we all played this for what is our July's, not this one. We played the original remaster for July's book club game. So, kind of actually excited about this, assuming it's true, which everything looks legit. It was on Sony's Twitter.
I mean, I guess it kind of falls in line. So THQ Nordic is celebrating their 10th anniversary this week. I know they have a lot of sales, and there's supposed to be some streaming events coming up. So I guess I wouldn't be super shocked if they drop this announcement with all that. Though if I remember this game, it was not as good as the first one. It's been a long time, but
maybe that's why they're going in there reprobing, rearranging a few things, making it a little better.
I will say, just to forewarn you guys, you are no longer
good old probing.
You're not following Crypto 137 anymore. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Tiny bit.
But yeah, so in the trailer that was kind of leaked, the only thing there that I found odd was there was no release date. So again, we'll probably find out more come Friday and probably talk a little bit more about this next week or a week after or whenever the real news is actually announced. We'll talk about it soon after.
We can't do the week after.
Oh, book club.
That's true.
Yep, we got book club coming up.
That's it. This is important news. If it comes out, we'll cover just that. That'll be our episode on that.
We'll do a little special episode that takes 3 minutes. At least we'll say that, and it'll take about 20 minutes, and it'll just be us talking about other shit.
It'll be us BSing for 10 minutes and going, okay, here's the podcast. Destroy All Humans 2 is out this date. Thanks for listening.
Watch our book club.
Continuing into Chris's favorite section, rumors. He loves rumors. So, I mean, this one, both of these have some truth, I think, to it. We'll start with the first one here. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is probably going to be 2022's Call of Duty.
But I thought Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was already released back in like 2007.
This is like 2-2, like TU, 2-2. I don't know. I don't know. I was so confused when they did Modern Warfare, and then here we are with Modern Warfare 2.
Well, and I'm intrigued to see how they pull off. They built so much extra story into the war zone, so how much of that's going to be relevant to the game? And then because that's all timed stuff, if you didn't play it, then what? You're just SOL on understanding what's going on in some areas? I guess that would be a very Activision thing to do.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to figure out where this game takes place too, because now they're getting into like weird Battlefield titles territory where it's like, so you have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 is actually the prequel to Call of Duty Modern Warfare from, I don't remember, what was that, 2006?
Yeah.
Something like that.
2008, 9, something like that, yeah.
From way back. So that's the sequel to that. And then following up, where does this Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 land in conjunction with the other Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2? Is it in between Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3? So it'll be Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. This is fun. I like this.
I have no clue.
Way too late for this. Boy.
I'm just curious.
I did play all three of the original Modern Warfares.
I did too. They were fun. Yeah, they were good.
I remember 3 not being good.
3 was fine when it was starting to get a little long in the tooth, but it was still fun.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll find out, but this would be Infinity Ward if they're up and they're the ones that did Modern Warfare in 2019, and they're on their 3-year cycle. So this kind of aligns. That's why it's their turn, and this makes sense for their next iteration. Let's milk Modern Warfare title.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, even if this isn't a rumor, I don't think anybody would have been surprised regardless.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting it.
Yeah. And I mean, the 2019 Modern Warfare was really successful.
Yeah,
I
it was.
wouldn't be surprised if they decided to make a sequel to it.
I mean, everyone loves price. That's really what it boils down to.
That's true.
That's all we
It's
want
true.
is more
Who
price.
doesn't love Captain Price? He's been a staple for Call of Duty since Call of Duty.
Put your hand down.
I honestly I kind of remember the guy, but I never really got into the stories of the original Modern Warfare.
He's the man that mysteriously transcends time.
Yeah.
Yeah. He fought in somehow World War II and I guess the Modern Warfare conflicts of
Just
modern
don't
day.
think about it. It's just
Yeah,
easier that
he
way.
didn't really age.
Is it maybe Crypto 137 and Crypto 138?
Could be. Yeah, it could be.
See, I'm assuming it's the British super soldier serum. He's Captain Britain.
Captain Britain.
Who is an actual superhero, but that's besides the point. We'll never see it, so it's fine.
Captain England. I like it. See, that's a better story than whatever they're writing, I'm sure.
Oh, I would love to write one of their stories. It would probably be a copy of a Tom Clancy novel, but that's besides the point. Tom Clancy doesn't do those anymore, so might as well let me do it.
That's because he's dead.
Well, fair.
It's hard for
But
dead
the
people,
games
right?
should do it, because I miss that. Rainbow Six should go back to what it did great.
Which was
Vegas. Or the old school Rainbow Six, like the original Rainbow Six, where you could plan the assault and then take the bad guys down.
I mean, that might be a bit of the boomer in me, but I mean, I really liked those old Rainbow Six titles where it was very, very tactical and not just.
I love that stuff so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Siege, but it'd be nice to get another real.
That was one
Rainbow
of the things
Six game.
I thought, that was one of those things that I thought was so weird. We're way diverting, by the way.
That's
it was
fine.
one of those things I thought was so weird is that the cast of Rainbow Six Siege were all these people with like goofy nicknames when they had a giant cast of characters from the Rainbow Six novels, games, whatever. Like,
there's a ton of characters.
Yeah, there's a ton of people that they could have used for that, but I'm just surprised they didn't. They just wanted really easy to say names like Sledge or something like that.
Smoke.
Yeah.
I miss it.
Maybe that is those characters. They just have gamer names now.
Yeah.
Sad.
Oh well.
Not gamer names because they don't have like XXX69 for.
See, and now you said it out loud.
whatever.
It's gonna happen.
Yep.
That already exists, I bet. Someone already it was taken.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mod. The next rumor, and again, take this one with a couple grains of salt. I think there's some truth in here, but it's also, I think, what they say it is just kind of placeholder. So, was this Monday or over the weekend? Somebody data mined Nvidia's GeForce Now database. This is what happens when you don't lock up your APIs and people can just query without any. So they found a list of games, and I'm not going to read it all to you because there was like 30 or 40 of them, but let me just read a couple notable games I wrote down here. All of these that would be, work with, GeForce Now or coming to PC. So it could work with GeForce Now. Some of those are God of War, GTA Remastered Trilogy, Demon Souls Remake, Returnal, Half-Life 2 Remastered, Kingdom Hearts 4, Monster Hunter 6, Halo 5 Guardians, Gear 6, Brother in Arms, Crysis, Resident Evil 4 Remake, BioShock, Mirror's Edge, Batman Arkham Knights, all RTX remasters, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, and Chrono Cross Remaster. Again, there's a whole ton more. I threw those last Nintendo ones on the end because I thought Mike would be here and he was all excited to talk about it, but he's not. Anyways,
He'd probably slap you for calling it Chrono Cross.
Chrono.
He'll reach through the camera.
Trono, I don't know. Anyways,
Chrono.
Chrono. So again, this list would imply that these are potentially coming to PC, and again would work on the GeForce Now stuff. Nvidia did say we are aware of unauthorized published game list with both released and or speculative titles used only for internal tracking and testing. Inclusion on the list is neither confirmation nor an announcement of any game.
Good save.
It's a good save, but honestly, some of these, I mean, some of them are rumored games that are kind of, we know are in development. Some are ones we know are coming, especially a lot of the PlayStation ones. Sony's been very active in slowly bringing their library out over to PC of, hit titles. So I think some of the, and we obviously we know Gear 6 is coming, but again, it's interesting. What are your guys' thoughts?
I think just if you're a new listener, you should go back through our catalog and check out that episode where we actually do go over Nvidia GeForce Now. That was fun. I got a chance to actually test it out for that episode. I took my laptop into a Buffalo Wild Wings and I was playing Doom 2016 off of the Wi-Fi. Actually ran pretty good. It wasn't terrible. I was very impressed.
That was our early days when we covered a lot of that streaming stuff. And I do remember GeForce Now worked surprisingly well.
Yeah, I would like to go back and revisit it just to see how well their list has been curated, because they actually went in through a lot of trouble because a lot of publishers were pulling their games off of GeForce Now. They didn't want them streaming it. But this is good to see. Like, you have things in here like Halo 5 Guardians. Like, that could be, okay, that's kind of cool. I don't know who's going to play it when Halo Infinite comes out, but neat nonetheless.
Well, that one's kind of interesting with what's its new name? I wanted to call it xCloud. Xbox
game streaming.
Yeah.
Game streaming. Yeah.
Like, when they're already doing it, why are they allowing it onto another platform? I mean, I guess it's Microsoft, just more money, but.
Well, I think some of the kind of what this implies too is that there's going to be a legit Steam or Epic Game Store or classic CD, DVD release of it, right? And that's not too far fetched for something like Halo 5 because it's the only Halo right now, not like mainline titles that aren't on PC yet. And all the other ones came over the last year and a half or whatever.
Right. And the way that this was working is that it already utilized the library that you own. So I don't know if you've used it before, Chris, but like when you're using GeForce Now, you're basically just logging into, at least last time I tried it, you were basically just logging into a Windows VM that just had Steam on it. And so you would log into your Steam account, use your Steam library. So if you maybe this could implicate that they might have something Game Pass related that you could play through GeForce Now. Not sure why they would allow you to do either that or xCloud, but options are options. I'm sure a lot of these games might end up on Steam or some other platform or something like that at some point, because that seems to be the direction Microsoft is going with a lot of their titles anyway.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. No, this is cool. I mean, if half of these are real, that could be neat. I don't see anything in here that I'd be super surprised by. The Half-Life 2 remastered seems kind of weird.
That threw me as well. Like,
I don't know why they would want to remaster it.
Well, is it isn't there like a mod group that kind of got the official blessing from Valve to remaster it?
Yeah.
Or they're already in they're already in progress of doing it. Like, if it's an official Valve remaster, like, what the heck are you guys doing? Like, go make Half-Life 3 already, or go make Half-Life Alyx 2. Like, go make right. But yeah, that one threw me for it. Again, most of these other ones I listed aren't surprised. It's kind of odd that we have the BioShock, Mirror's Edge, and Batman RTX remasters. Like,
meh.
Okay,
I'm sure it's some type of upscaling the graphics, and that's going to be about all it is.
It could be some of that too. Like, hey, let's easily remaster the newest iterations in these series because we do know there's a new BioShock being made. We do know that there's another. Oh, what's the name? There's those two. It's not Batman games, but they're set in the same
Gotham Knights
and what's
Suicide Squad.
So kind of get us excited for that DC universe game So maybe, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Man, we haven't heard about those games in a little while. Interesting.
I'm sure. What are you talking about? We just heard about them now. I'm sure we'll get more early next year.
Probably.
Next E3 could be exciting, but don't get your hopes
can't wait
up.
to stream that one. I'm so excited.
All right, we're into the meat and potatoes of the episode.
The main event.
Halo Infinite. No, I'm just kidding. PlayStation Showcase.
Yes.
I'll be honest, this was actually a pretty good showing, and obviously we'll dig into it here. But I was expecting a lackluster showing, like they've kind of done. Now the last couple like PlayStation events they've done were really focused on just, I think, indie developers or specific games. So I kind of set my expectations low, and I don't know, they delivered. I thought a lot of cool stuff. I mean, we got to see Herman Hulst's neck, right? It's so wonderful that you guys are.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who was noticing that. It's just like when he was doing the interview, like he just was talking like this, and he was just like all the text he was reading was like way down here, and he couldn't see it, and he's like, "Oh, there's a person's head in my way. I got to read this text." I'm glad I'm not the only one that noticed that. Yeah, I mean, I thought overall the PlayStation Showcase was okay. I mean, I don't have a PlayStation, so all the stuff that's PlayStation exclusive, I clearly don't care a lot about. But I think there are some stuff in here that I thought was cool, some stuff that I didn't care about.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who does have the PlayStation, I was slightly more excited for it. There were a lot more surprises than I was expecting. But there were definitely some things I was like, I'm kind of hoping we hear something about, Game X, and nothing.
Yeah.
So, is what it is.
Well, let's talk about that Game X you're talking about and what we didn't get. We did not get Sunset Apocalypse or Sunset Overdrive 2.
I didn't want your feelings to get hurt, so I just didn't say it.
Anyways, I mean, they started the show off with a bang. I was both excited and a little disappointed at the same time.
Yeah, I can understand that.
We again, kind of a heavily rumored game that finally got announced, and that's the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic official remake. It's not a remaster; it's a remake. So that's actually very exciting. Where my disappointment came from was it's just a CGI trailer, and it was not like
we don't know anything.
No info on it. I figured maybe it'd be farther along in development and we'd get a little bit more, but no, it was just Bastila, Sean talking, and then we saw Darth Revan, right?
There you go.
Yeah. It's been I think the last time I
been
played
a
it was
long
when
time.
it launched. I keep meaning to go back and play it. It's been 16 years or something since it launched, or longer,
Something
17
like that.
I have a confession to make. I never actually finished it.
Oh my gosh.
Remember when Chris was like, if we were in the same room, I'd throw something at you? Kind of the same feeling, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got bored and didn't finish it.
Oh my god.
Yep.
This was one of those, I think, games where it was just like, it was so much fun. The story was so good. And yeah, the ending was crazy. Again, I was younger then, so I didn't have as much exposure to stories and shows and movies and books and all that. So it blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So do we spoil it here for the rest of our listeners?
No. They can, I mean,
yeah, what if I decide to finish it?
You could play the remake. No,
But yeah,
we don't ruin that.
It's being remade from Aspire Media, which they've done Stubbs the Zombie, I think was their most recent, but they've also done Republic Commando and Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
They used to be very well known for taking PC games and porting them over to Mac, and they were actually picked up by Embracer Group. So
now, how far did they go with these remakes of these other previous titles? Like, are they pretty like different as far like, and by different I mean like, are we talking like Resident Evil 2 grade remake, or is it like
These are
A
more
remaster called a
remaster.
remake.
They are, well, they only called these, all of them, remasters.
Yeah.
They never called them remakes. So this will be their, as far as I'm aware, their first attempt at a remake.
And
Got
it
it.
sounds like, again, it's all probably PR talk. Well, I shouldn't say all probably PR talk, but there's a lot of PR talk here. They are going apparently balls to the wall and really they want to keep the core game there, but bring it, 18, 17, whatever it's been. When did it come out? 2003, 4? Bring it
2004.
into the future, right? So they didn't go into a ton of detail, but they will be using the power of the PlayStation 5. This was confirmed it's coming to PC as well, and it's a little smoky, but it says exclusive, PS5 exclusive. But what I was seeing is it sounds like it's probably going to be a timed exclusive, so it might come to other systems. But again, they're gonna make this hopefully, just bring it into the 2020s, I guess, since we don't have a release date or a release window.
So something I was kind of like, go back to that really quick because I was slightly confused. So it is coming to PS5 and PC, but it is going to be timed exclusive for the PS5 and not coming to PC right away? Or will it be for PS5 and PC releasing on other consoles later?
Good question.
Oh.
We'll report on that whenever we figure.
Okay.
There was a lot of confusion.
I didn't quite get it, so I wasn't sure if you guys caught something.
Everything I could find from Aspire directly said it's coming to both of them at the same time.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, and then it sounds like console-wise, it's timed exclusive.
Yeah.
But that's also been a little bit. Sony tweeted something like, "Oh, it's exclusive to PlayStation 5," but then was it Lucas Arts or whatever was like, "Oh, they're the ones that are like, no, it's PS5 timed exclusive." Yeah, so we'll find out. Like, not trying to knock Sony, but they've done this with quite a few games. The last couple times they've had big showcases like this, where they'll be like PlayStation 5 exclusive, but then we find out later that day, a week or a month later, like, oh no, it's just timed exclusive, or it's also coming at the same time to other consoles.
It's what Microsoft used to do with the Tomb Raider games.
Yeah.
The biggest question I have is hopefully they got rid of the racing sequence, because that was just appallingly bad back in the day. Two, I'm hoping they change the combat a little bit, because in the original game you tell it to attack and it basically does a dice roll behind the scenes and decides whether or not you hit. That doesn't play quite as well in a modern game.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of the charm of it, though, is that it was using like a D&D.
It was
D20
basically
rule set.
D&D.
Yeah. That they were
It was
using
also
it like
that-
a D20 rule set.
And they were kind of masking turn-based behind an action, action, because it wasn't really action, but it also wasn't turn-based. But you could queue up your moves, and like you said, behind the scenes there was that, turn order
like,
and back and forth, rolling the die type stuff.
Elder Scrolls used to be the exact same way. Your sword swings weren't actual swings; it was masking a dice roll. And I think that changed with Oblivion. Was the first one where it was actually you swinging a sword and connecting with the enemy.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. Again, they don't like they always say, they don't want to ruin the experience, but they also want to improve on.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do with combat. The racing sequences were interesting. I remember them being fun, but I'm sure if I go back now, it'll be like, God damn it.
It's not Battletoads, but it's not far off. It was just annoying, and it hurt the pace as far as I was concerned.
Yeah. The other kind of good news that came out afterwards was that Jennifer Hale will be returning as Bastila Shan, and it sounds like some of the other old voice actors might be making a return. They always tout this and not trying to knock any of the developers, but they also said they brought in some old KOTOR developers. I didn't see any names, or I missed any names, so I don't know if they were a big influence on the game, or if they were just kind of just a regular old anime. Again, any old experience like that is valuable, but I didn't see if they were leads of any sort that we were a lead on the original game and now they brought them in. But again, we'll see what happens with this. I'm excited. because I have a
Everybody loves
PS.
Jen Hale.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
As they
stuff.
should.
Kind of some other games here. I'm gonna move quick on these next two. Stop me if you guys want to talk about them. Project Eve, which is compared to something similar to like Bayonetta, Devil May Cry. Honestly, all I got out of that was shiny suit and tentacle monsters, as I wrote in my notes here. I mean, if it's your type of game, like I get it. It actually looks pretty cool, you know, and it's on PS5, so obviously that suit's got ray tracing on it, you know, so that's why it looks extra shiny, right? But yeah. Any thoughts on that guy there?
No.
No.
Nope. I like shiny pants though.
Yep. They did look good. But then they showed off some Tiny Tina's Wonderland. We kind of talked about this before. Not a ton of new information here. They did announce a launch date, which is March 25th, 2022. Other than that, it was just more talking about, you know, being able to, you know, they're trying a multi-class system that you're supposed to kind of be able to, you know, create your own character type thing, as it sounds like. So that could be pretty cool.
Yeah. Just shows that they're really leaning even harder into the D&D stuff than they did with the Borderlands 2 DLC.
The one thing I pulled from this, and you guys can see it in my note there, is Bard Mr. Torg, or I forget they called him something else, I think, in the trailer. But Mr. Torg's already freaking awesome, right? What if he also now sings to you as a bard?
Oh,
like,
boy.
how amazing would that be?
Gives you buffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. And I mean, to be fair, that trailer that they showed was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
It was really, it was a good trailer.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of excited that they're basically making a dedicated game based off of the expansion from Borderlands 2, Tiny Tina's Assault and Dragon Keep. So I imagine it's going to be kind of in the same vein of that, just a full game instead of a DLC. So, and obviously, like you said, leaning more into the kind of D&D, or in their case, Bunkers and Badasses side of it. So
might be a good game for a group of us to get together and maybe stream.
Unacceptable. We can't play a Borderlands game with Mike. Remember, we made him buy Borderlands 3, and then we never played it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but he also paid like dirt for it, so I don't really feel bad.
Yep. Next up was kind of a game we hadn't heard for in a while. Where I put it here somewhere. I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. It was originally announced 2 years ago, I think, at their event, and it's called Forspoken.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard word to say.
It is a hard word.
Yeah. I was mixed on this. It kind of looked cool, but also kind of looked lame. How did you guys feel about it?
Yeah, I struggled trying to pin it down into what it was, and that kind of frustrated me a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the big reason I kind of threw it in here too was that I read afterwards that Gary Whitta and Amy Hennig are both writers on this, so that could be kind of cool. There could be a good story hidden in there or written in there. So,
which I don't want this to come off as a slight, but God knows it's going to. Good for Amy Hennig to be on a project that finally completes instead of gets canceled.
Oh,
I don't believe it's her fault.
Oh, let's spring 2020. It has time to get canceled.
It has time. Yeah. So yeah,
but we hope not. We like Amy Hennig too.
We do. She has a lot of really good projects.
Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, it's got some good writers. It's also got a composer who Bear McCreary, who worked on the God of War soundtrack, which was fantastic.
He does
absolutely love that.
Amazing soundtracks. He's one of the best out there right now.
So this could be a sleeper hit. I don't know. For me, it could be a surprise hit. You know, I don't know. Again, still mixed on it. Look cool. I don't know. We'll see. Then they showed off Rainbow Six Extinction. Whatever. We've
Extraction and
whatever. We've talked about this so much. There was no new.
We pooped on it on E3 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just didn't look fun. It looked boring.
It looked weird. It didn't look like it just didn't fit for the whole this is supposed to be a Tom Clancy sort of universe thing, and this is just
No.
Zombies. Who cares?
I haven't heard anybody say a lot of good things, any good things about it.
But there's also like wasn't a ton of new information other than
It was
which
just
I
a
think
trailer?
we reported on this before, but it's coming in January 2022, which I believe we reported on a month or two ago because it got delayed like
Mhm.
a month after E3 because it was like, oh, they reset a date at E3, and then 2 months later they're like, nope, we're moving it again. But yep, Rainbow Six Extinction or Extraction, whatever you want to call it. I'll let you take over this next one, Chris, because I know this is your baby.
I'm so excited. Alan, hey, who put that in there?
He even said it too.
Even started
he was gonna
it.
set it.
Damn it. Alan Wake remastered, you bastards.
I threw that
nice.
joke in there from last week's episode. So.
That was good.
Yeah, the remastered, which we knew about, finally has a release date of October 5th. Oh,
It's coming up soon.
very soon. Even if it ends up not being our book club game, it's definitely going to be a game of focus for me in the month of October. Because
It's gonna be a busy month.
oh god, I love that game so much. It is one of my all-time favorites. Sadly, they're ditching the real-world ads. I think that was the biggest news that I'd heard most recently about it. Because I don't know how he's supposed to keep that flashlight going without Energizer batteries.
Without energizers. Yeah.
How's he do it?
He'll
Doesn't
just
work.
use. He'll have to use his Burra cells.
Barra so
For
Yep.
ourselves.
I'm guessing it's gonna be a lot like like I don't know, was there Ford in there now to be Furred or something
Yeah, and
like
there was
that?
I really hope they
billboards.
do that. Yeah.
Like like you said, Energizer, but Benergizer or something.
Yeah.
But
Otherwise, we knew it would have the DLC included, 4K, 60 frames per second. It looks so pretty. I just cannot wait.
I don't know, man. It might not be that great. I didn't see we got 4K 60, but I didn't see anything about ray tracing.
God damn it.
So
And that is a game that would really benefit
it actually
from ray
probably
tracing.
would. Yeah.
So I hope it's actually there and they just didn't give Matt his favorite little buzzword. But
I'm a believer now since Doom Eternal, man. It looks so good. Looks so good.
I just hope oh god, what was the band called? The Old Gods of Asgard, I think was the band in the game. I hope that music's still in there because that music was awesome.
Well, they did. So the article I read about the no more real world in-game ads, they also noted that songs and TV shows will remain.
Okay.
So that I'm assuming whatever music you're looking for will be there. So
Yep, Old Gods of Asgard. Yep. They're awesome.
yeah, no, again, so I know we kind of trash on remasters, remakes, and all that fun stuff, but this is one of those games I've been meaning to play since 2011. So like, that's kind of nice. Whenever like, it's like, do we really need this? No, but I also didn't play the first one, so if I'm gonna play it, I want to play the best version of it. So that's the same thing with like Dead Space. Not the same thing with like Mass Effect and KOTOR. I could have easily gone back and played the older versions, but it's nice that we're getting some remasters and remakes of those because it's like I've been itching to go back and play them. So kind of mixed, but I'm excited about Alan Wake again because at some point I'll pick it up and play it. If it doesn't become a book club game, I'll pick it up and play it on my own at some point.
I appreciate that it's not just we got this working on a newer console. Like I love Stubbs the Zombie, but that's all it really is. We got an old game to actually work on the new consoles. That's it.
Yep.
This has new visuals, new character models. Like it looks fantastic.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that half-ass remaster BS.
No, throw it all in. You guys got the money, just do it.
So potentially the most controversial game
I was
that
disappointed.
they showed.
Boo.
I didn't even know it was a thing. I honestly watched it. I was like, whatever, and just kind of moved on with my life. And then I read an article where it was a lot of fans were not happy. The game we were talking about is Grand Theft Auto 5. It is turning into basically Rockstar's Skyrim because we're getting it on everything.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So the trailer showed improved graphics, enhanced gameplay, seamless character switching.
The trailer said those things existed. I will not say that those graphics looked significantly improved from what I can see right now.
That's what a lot of people thought.
Yeah.
Doesn't look that much different.
I will also say I'm a little bit considering I already own the game. I bought the game on the 360, and then because the one came out so quickly afterwards, I did buy it again on the one. The fact that the GTA Online will be exclusive to PS5 for the first 3 months is kind of aggravating. That if I wanted to upgrade, that I would have to not be able to play it for a while, which that's just stupid. But whatever.
But I think that a lot of that feeds into why people are unhappy. Is like, this doesn't look like that much of an improvement. All this stuff they're kind of touting as super cool for the next gen is really stuff that a lot of people were like, I remember I saw in the one article where they were talking about how the YouTube video has 26,000 likes to 134,000 dislikes. I also got those numbers right before we did the episode.
I was going to say that looks updated because that's not what it was at.
That's because I was like, really, like reading the article from like 2 days ago or whatever it was. I was like, oh wow, it's that bad. I pulled up the video and I'm like, shit. But yeah, it's like, okay, you're just reselling the same game for $70 on a new system. Like, why are we upgrading? And people with PS4 Pros and Xbox Series X's, I think, that support the backwards compatibility for all that, and Xbox One X's, they're like, I mean, graphics look good already. And there's already seamless character switching. What are they comparing that to? The 360 and PS3 version or
right.
What? So, I don't know.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm super frustrated.
Yeah, to me, this is lazier than just releasing remasters. It's just like, yep, we're just gonna keep pumping out the exact same game and just slightly tweak it so that it runs on better hardware. And
I mean, at
you
least
paid top dollar for a game that you probably already have because you bought it 10 years ago.
Right.
Come on.
At least Skyrim's adding fishing, right?
Oh god.
Skyrim I'm fine with because we're just going to get it for free on Game Pass and I just don't care. This I'll have to pay a full price for a goddamn new game that isn't new at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I still haven't played it. I also don't have a PS5, so who cares about next gen?
You haven't played Grand Theft Auto 5?
No, remember you guys were giving me some kind words last time I mentioned I never played any of the Grand Theft Autos other than like screwing around with I think most of like 3 Vice City, San Andreas.
All right, so is this where I reach through the monitor and I just like slap Matt now?
Yeah, this is your chance.
All right.
Yeah. I'll maybe get to it. Those remasters that might come are kind of exciting. Again, probably not too exciting for people that have played them already, but
whatever.
Yeah.
You could still have fun with it. You're allowed.
Am I? Thanks for giving me permission.
No problem. I'm right here to give you permission, Matt.
Next up, they showed this game that kind of looked interesting. I don't know a lot about Ghostwire Tokyo. It's like
forgot this game was even coming out.
it's like
this was
paranormal stuff.
Yeah. This was one of those games that came out at E3 and we're like, whoa, this looks interesting, but we know nothing about what's going on.
Yeah.
Like it was such a confusing trailer and we're like, what kind of game is this?
Well, if I remember correctly, this will be the last Bethesda game that will end up on PlayStation, unless I got it wrong.
I believe you're right. But I also I don't know if this is exclusive to. Does this have exclusive rights like Deathloop does?
Yeah, it's just like Deathloop.
Yeah, I still don't know a lot about it myself.
There's
first person in it.
Yeah.
You get your hands out there and you do some wiggly magic stuff.
I mean, it looked crazy because of all the paranormal. I can't say that word apparently. Paranormal weird stuff happening, and yeah. But again, kind of still interested, but don't know. Again, maybe it's my own fault. Maybe I need to go out to message boards, or maybe they have Twitter posts or blogs or something. But yeah, I don't know.
I'm
much
morbidly
about this.
curious,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have a PlayStation, so
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I got another couple games here that are kind of we've talked a lot about the last couple months, so kind of go through them. Stop me if you have some things to say. They showed off Guardians of the Galaxy again. That's coming next month, 26th. So if you're excited for that, cool. Blood Hunt is coming to PS5 later this year, so September. So it's 3.5 months. You'll get it sometime in that window. Again, not much there. Just kind of showed off kind of their multiple kind of clans you can kind of play as. So a little bit of gameplay in there looked interesting. Everybody knows I'm not a big battle royale guy, so but
even when he can be a sexy vampire, still won't do it.
I didn't see. Oh shoot! It's been so long since I watched it. Kate Beckinsale's character from Underworld.
She's in there.
She is.
No.
Wait, really? No. I was gonna say I might be playing this game.
Whole different universe. Different universe.
She'll come as DLC, like
yeah.
promotional.
Oh,
you know.
I mean,
like,
they could pull it off, sure.
Like Fork Fight does, where they just. Yeah.
But I would be shocked if there isn't some,
somebody
copy
like
up
that.
there.
Yeah. I actually marked this off as a kind of skip by, but you've been playing it. They talked about Deathloop, which is out now, which the internet seems to be ablaze with how amazing it is.
Fun. Oh my!
It looked really. I mean, again, this was one of those highlights for us at E3 when we were just like, "This actually looks really cool." Like,
well, it's from the guys.
Looks good.
It's from the guys that did the Dishonored series, and it does play a lot like it, and it's just a crazy amount of fun that I wish I didn't have to stop playing. Because apparently I have to do things.
That is available on Steam. I could go buy that too.
You can. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so big thumbs up review from Chris, it looks like. It's out now. Go check it out.
Characters are great. I love it.
There are characters in this game, which is probably good.
There are characters in the game.
More than one.
Supposedly. All right, next game.
Matt doesn't want to move on to the next one because I don't know he can pronounce it.
Chia?
Chia.
Chia? Is that what it is? Chia?
I have no idea. I didn't want to say
it. Yeah. I'm just assuming it's Chia.
Okay, yeah. Chia. We'll call it Chia. TCHIA. This kind of, I don't know. This didn't grab me. Other than you could kind of take control of physical objects or animals or things. It looked like it was this little girl on an island running around possessing things. And probably just, I'm assuming it's probably kind of like puzzly platformer stuff is what I'm guessing, is what it looked like. And that you'll be able to take control of these things to whatever, traverse this or get there. I mean, I'll say it looked fun, but it didn't look like a game I'd play unless it's a book club game. No, maybe.
We'll see. I mean, it looks like a really good game. It's not exactly my cup of tea, but it looks fantastic. It looks like it'd be a ton of fun. I wish I understood the plot a little bit more, but
yeah. I'm sure we'll hear more about it, especially if it comes out in the second half of 2022. We'll probably see it again at some like E3 type things.
There'll be more showcases, plenty of them.
But this is coming to PS4 and PS5 sometime next year, 2022. Some quick news. We were kind of talking about how we were talking earlier about how Sony's been bringing a lot of their games to PC. They announced Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection. So next year, early next year sometime, A Thief's End, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, and then Uncharted The Lost Legacy, which follows Chloe and... This is awful. I literally just played this game. What the hell was her name?
Isn't it Nadia for that one? It's been a while since I played it.
Yeah, I think so. I had a really bad time paying attention to it, or had a lot of trouble. But anyways, both those games are coming to PC, and it's also being remastered for PS5. My guess is it's just probably getting the 4K 60 makeover type situation. So this is actually exciting. I've already played these and haven't really had an itch to go back and play them. But if you've never played the Uncharted series or never played these last two games, and again, regardless of the fact that I did just beat Lost Legacy and I've already forgotten about it, don't take that as a bad review. It was a good game. I was just dumb, not really paying attention. So, but yeah, very good games. Check it out on PC or PS5 if you haven't already.
Fun action games.
And now we get into the segment where I get mad. Do we go on a 45-minute rant?
If you can.
No, that's okay. No.
I'll cut it off. It's fine.
Yeah. So this is actually exciting. I thought Marvel Wolverine, developed by Insomniac Games, was announced. It was just a CGI trailer.
And that's it.
Unless there was more information that came out that I missed, that was it. There wasn't even a release window. There was nothing. It was just a cool trailer. So it's Insomniac Games, so I imagine it's going to be fantastic.
Their
I might-
Spider-Man game got like incredible reviews and like
Both of
got
them
me
have.
like that close to getting a PlayStation just to play the Spider-Man game
Miles
because I heard it was
Morales
so
is
good.
So good.
Yep. And since we're talking about it, we'll just jump. This was like a game or two later, but we'll just jump to the other announcement. They announced Spider-Man 2,
Yeah.
developed by Insomniac as well. It is common for a single studio to make multiple games.
Is it? I have.
Yep.
Yeah. Of course it is.
So this is coming in 2023, so still a little ways out. I think the trailer they showed was a mix of in-game and some of it was CGI, I
Mhm.
believe, if I read correctly. But it still looked fantastic. And it looks like there'll be 2 Spider-Mans in it, as well
Two
as
Spider-Mans.
and Venom. So do you think that's Miles Morales? I haven't played.
It's
I haven't played the other ones.
It'll be both Peter Parker and Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Cooperative.
Maybe someday I'll actually get to play it, but I'm still boycotting it because they haven't said anything about my baby's
It's
Sunset.
fine. You can boycott ridiculously good games out of your pettiness.
I guess that's really the news out of Insomniac. Those are like they didn't give us much other than that, and we're probably a good years away to.
Did you mention the big villain in Spider-Man 2?
I thought I mentioned it. Maybe I only read it in my brain. Venom. Venom's gonna be the big baddie.
They dropped some hints about the Sinister Six coming back because we did get to kind of play them in the first one, but yeah, Venom, the symbiote, and maybe Venom's enemy will show up. Tie into a movie that I just don't really care about.
The first movie was entertaining.
I never saw it. I just don't care.
It was
Eh.
it was one of those. Maybe you have a couple bros over, order some pizza, have some beers, and just kind of like
Turn your brain off
Yeah.
and watch it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was entertaining in that aspect. So, but yeah,
I love Tom Hardy. There's something about that movie that I just looked like I checked out. I don't know.
again, yeah, well, I wouldn't say it was a good movie, and you should definitely go watch it. But like, if you're like, hey, you want something fun to just
Sure.
kind of again, just some dumb fun to watch.
If it's on a streaming
was-
service, maybe I'll watch it sometime.
Yeah.
I don't know. Should we
But-
talk about the game you skipped? That I'm sure there's at least a handful of people that are excited for it.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't mean to skip it because I didn't want to talk about it. I
Sounds
skipped
like
it
you
because
didn't
I
want
want
to
to
talk
keep
about it.
my anger condensed to a small window of this podcast. So, what game did I skip, Chris?
Sorry, I actually have to look at the notes. I wasn't paying attention. No, Gran Turismo. The new Gran Turismo is finally coming out. Though I feel like it probably hasn't been that long. I just haven't played a Gran Turismo game in probably a decade or so.
Same.
Because I like my racers arcadey. I don't really like the simulation ones.
I like the simulation type of racing game, I think, a lot more than I like the arcadey ones. Caveat, Burnout was really good.
Burnout is so much fun.
Burnout was stupidly fun.
Burnout 1 was probably my favorite. Granted, I know 2 had a lot of the crashing and stuff, but Burnout to me at that time was realistic. Like it wasn't like a Cruising USA or one of those other like really arcadey ones.
That's really arcadey.
But it also
That's
wasn't
literally arcadey.
it also wasn't Gran Turismo. It was kind of a good in between. But yeah, no, I mean this I mean visually it looks crazy. I'm assuming a lot of stuff they showed off is crazy, but having never played a Gran Turismo, I don't know. But I mean, like some of the customization stuff they were showing off, they got this kind of sexy photo mode. It looks like you kind of place your cars in different settings and change daylight and all that crap and show off the fantastic ray tracing in the game.
There are always
but yeah.
pretty games every
Yeah.
single time.
But they did announce when it's coming out, because I think they announced this last year at their PlayStation event, but it was just kind of a teaser trailer. But they put a release date on it, coming March 4th. So and it's coming to PS4 and PS5. So
That part is probably the most surprising, though. I guess with PS5 still being really hard to get.
in this early in the cycle and this big of a game, I kind of feel like it makes sense.
Let's see if how much it's going to cost for PS4 owners to upgrade when the time comes.
Well, let's see. The game is going to launch for $60 on PS4,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're going to have the option to either buy like they'll call it some crazy like limited edition bundle that's like $80. It also includes some other like DLC crap, some skins or something, and then the $10 upgrade for the PS5 version from when you do it. Base PS5 will cost $70, and then obviously they'll have all their other editions, because that seems to be standard with what Sony's doing.
It's just
60 and 70 pricing, and then some sort of weird bundle for PS4 owners that if they want to have that
Yeah.
option for future upgrade.
It's so stupid.
Weird stuff, man. Weird stuff. But no, exciting news for all you GT7 fans, GT fans. Yeah. The last bit that they showed off at this event was pretty freaking sweet. I was a big fan of the first game, so it's nice to finally see some gameplay and some more footage of it. The game I'm talking about is God of War Ragnarok.
Oh boy. Yep, we're not going to get in trouble here.
God of War Ragnarok. So, yeah,
Yep.
you haven't played it, have you, Rich? You
Nope.
don't have a PS5. So when it
Nope.
comes to PC, the rumored coming to PC, pick it up. It's a great game.
It's a lot of fun.
I've heard it's very good.
I think the most important news came out after the fact when somebody tweeted at, I don't remember if it was just Santa Monica
Yeah,
Studio,
it's Santa Monica Studios, yeah.
or if it was Corey Balrog or I forget what that, whatever. Anyways, somebody tweeted at somebody at Santa Monica Studio, and they confirmed Ragnarok is going to take place in a single shot, like the first game.
Oh yeah.
So that was something that was I thought really cool about the first one. I recently watched 1917, which was really cool to see them shoot that very similarly.
That was so amazing.
So that type of experience is just really cool. So I thought that was awesome. But
And this will also wrap up the this storyline for God of War. They've also announced.
yeah, I kind of found that a little odd, because everybody knows stories are told as trilogies. So
It's
weird.
the rule.
Yeah, it's kind of I don't know. But yeah, the villains in this game, if anybody's kind of that played the first one, spoiler, Rich, you'll be taking on Freya and Thor. Big surprise. That was the end of the game. You saw that coming of the first one.
Ending your Norse saga.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it looks like at least for part of it, you'll be trying to find the Norse God of War Tyr. Tyr, is it Tyr? Is that how you
I
say
think
it?
it's supposed to be tier.
But yeah, I'm excited. This looks fantastic. This is actually going to be a reason I pick up a PS5. And again, it's my new joke. This is going to look fantastic in 4K 60 ray tracing. It's going to look great, and I'm actually really excited to play it on my TV. It's going to be a fun experience. And they did say they were going to kind of not change the combat, but change some stuff, adjust how it sounds like it's going to be more customizable, so you can play a little bit more and build a little bit more how you want to fight, which again, it's the first one was fantastic. So if they improve on that, can't wait to play this game. But other than that, no hard release date other than next year. So not any new information there.
No. Well, and they've already shown that they're willing to push it to, protect their developers. So It's probably in their interest right now to just give it the soft 2022, as opposed to giving a firm, it's going to be available in June, and then they're like, we don't want to crunch, we have to delay it because we see how well people react to that.
Yeah, it's also not 343 Studios, so they're actually going to give it the time it needs to make a good game instead of cut features from it. Just to push it out and make money.
It's my fault for leaving a door open
before the holidays
that Matt could find, and he ran right through it.
So that was a PlayStation showcase. There was again, I felt a lot of good stuff in there, a lot of new stuff, which actually, in a weird way, was, as we talked with a lot of the E3 stuff and the Gamescom stuff, was kind of missing from some of the showcases this year. Was these big surprise releases, even though something like KOTOR kind of new was
there's a lot of rumors out there for a while,
but we finally got it. Same thing with like Alan Wake, more information from some of the other games that they've talked about. So to me, like there wasn't anything that really blew my mind, but it was exciting to get a mix of, hey, here's what's coming soon, but also here's some really cool stuff coming in the next Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine, and good stuff.
Yeah, I do wish we would stop seeing so much exclusives. I do enjoy a world where you could pretty much play a game on whatever platform you want, but
how they got to sell the console, though.
Yeah, well, and Sony especially, that's where they make a lot of money.
Their bread and butter,
yeah. They're there to sell consoles, whereas Microsoft's there to sell a service, and that's what they want. So it is what it is. I just have to live in that world and accept it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just different business models.
But it just means every big company's buying up little guys, and I don't know, it stops being fun after a while.
That's what Microsoft is doing, but they're just selling it as a service.
I mean, Sony's purchasing. We talked about that last week with who were the Playroom developers?
I can't remember their name anymore, but yeah.
But I mean, they also bought Insomniac wasn't it in the last year? Because that was kind of a bombshell, So, I mean, to your point, Chris, I hope this doesn't become a thing, and then we only have most of the developers. Like, there's no that second party or kind of third party. Everything's just owned under Microsoft, Nintendo, or Sony, and then you have indies. And then you have shitty.
I was going to say, you either have the massive studios, you have developer-owned studios, or you have like 10 guys in a room putting a game together. And there's no more mid-tier developers just doing jobs.
Just studios like Splitgate that are just. Now, I guess you could argue they're a small studio, but
I would say they're still just small.
Yeah, your I think Bungie, your Quantic Dreams, they're just good studios, but aren't owned by anybody. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Once Microsoft buys Sega. What? I like that rumor. I wish that came true. That would have been fun.
Fine with it.
It would have been a fun episode. But anyways, I digress. You guys got anything else to say? Anything at all? Anything. Could be about Taco Bell.
If you shut up, I will. I'll say something. God damn it, Matt. I'm waiting for you to give a break. There was no Abandoned. Abandoned wasn't at this showcase. This was one of those titles that came out of E3. One of the big reasons that it got a lot of traction coming out of E3 is that a lot of people thought that this was kind of either a lean-in or some sort of a tie-in to Silent Hill, also missing from the showcase. Yeah. And so this wasn't present at... I mean, supposedly it's some sort of survival game that you wander around in the woods, but people are saying that are trying to invent this rumor that Hideo Kojima is trying to revive Silent Hill through this game somehow or something like that. And I mean, I don't know. I would love to this is why I'm getting so hype about Silent Hill recently, why I've been talking about it in Discord, but I would love to see that franchise come back. It's a shame that it was like, so Silent Hills was canceled a while back,
Yeah.
and I mean,
Didn't they?
what are you gonna do? I mean, you had the closest thing was the PT. You had PT, and that was the only thing that we have. Yep.
Which only exists on a handful of consoles in the world at this point.
I thought I saw recently you could re-download it if you've owned it before.
Oh, I have
I
not
don't
heard
know.
that.
I thought I saw some for that. But I also
Anyway,
thought I saw.
Sorry, Matt. I didn't mean to interrupt you there with the spiciness. I was trying, but I just wanted to get that in before we closed out the episode.
Didn't Hideo Kojima and the people making Abandoned, like, aren't they both saying, like, we have no involvement with each other or Silent
Correct.
Hill? This is not like. But yeah, like you said, the internet's like, no, this is Silent Hill, and Kojima's got his hands in it.
It doesn't
Right.
help that the developers are also saying Abandon is not its final title. That's just what we're calling it right now.
That too. Yeah.
It's like,
So Blue.
oh, okay, so it's going to be Silent Hill.
Right. So Blue Box has also announced that so they never said anything at the showcase, but they did announce that it's going to get pushed back to 2022. I think during E3 they said it was going to be released like Q3, Q4 this year or something
Mhm.
like that, but it looks like that's not the case anymore either. Still would like a Silent Hill game.
No,
A
hopefully
Silent Hill game would be kind of cool.
Hopefully, Konami either sells the rights or actually gets back into real game development again. Because
I know
then we could.
they've been kind of bastardizing their franchises.
Yeah,
Kind of like Sega did for a while, didn't they? That was
not
like
to
kinda
this
like Sega.
extent. Because
No, not to where they're making gambling games
I was
out
going
of
to
their
say
franchises.
that's what Konami's been doing with all their stuff. It's just making weird gambling arcade games for it all.
hmm
Which is, that's also includes Metal Gear Solid. Like, we
Yeah.
may never see a good entry in that series again because they just are done.
Mhm.
It's like, that is so sad.
Maybe one of these days we're gonna get a new Dance Dance Revolution game.
I wish I could live in
Maybe.
that world.
A VR one.
A VR one.
I'd be fine with that. I mean, I
I'm not
already
sure
do
what
Beat Saber, but
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, but it'd be more like Beat Saber than.
I'd be scared to stomp my feet around with a giant plastic headset on my face.
you'd be surprised. You get used to it.
I'd step on the dog's tail.
Oh, that would be an
something.
issue. I don't have pets yet.
That's all I got.
I didn't want to start talking again and make you mad. You were like, "Meow."
Yeah, I know.
I could throw slight shade at Sony for after all the PlayStation talk we just had.
Do it, man, or else
So-
we're ending it.
Sony doesn't get the new Indiana Jones game coming out from Bethesda. That's already been announced.
You want
Boom.
to? Okay, let's take a
Correct.
minute to talk about this. That was news. I'm actually.
Yeah,
I thought I had an article somewhere, and I was gonna write a note.
I posted it in one area, and I think you posted it in a different area, and somehow I just did
Yeah.
not get into the notes.
Like I don't mean this in a mean way, but if you're a Sony fan, stop thinking that
Oh my-
anything out of the ZeniMax studios is going to come to PlayStation outside of what we
well,
talked about
and
with.
stop crying about it too, because come on, you guys got enough exclusives. Quit being babies.
Yeah, I don't mean this in a mean way, but this is companies. They're not like Microsoft. Yeah, has been nice and been known to play. And obviously they're honoring the contracts with Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, but they're not Indiana Jones, Fallout, Skyrim, Starfield, Wolfenstein. These are not coming. I can almost guarantee you, unless there's some hidden contract somewhere for future titles on these franchises, these are not coming to PlayStation anymore, unless there is some deal struck between
Right.
Microsoft and Sony. Which the only deal I can think of that they might strike is Game Pass. Offer Game Pass on play, but we know that's hell will freeze over before that happens. So again, I don't mean this in a mean way. It sucks because I know there's plenty of you PlayStation fans out there. I have friends that are big Bethesda fans that are now not going to be able to get these games for PS4, PS5, whatever. But it's the world we live in. I hate that the
That's
internet keeps going.
How it is
"Well,
with
what about this?"
exclusives.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
how it is.
every week it seems like there's some new rumor going around. Like, well, no, like, Starfield might come, or no, like, Elder Scrolls
It's
6
not
might.
gonna
And it's like,
happen. Just let
no,
it go.
stop trying
Yeah.
to make this a thing. It's
It's
not going.
more likely that Matt will get his Sunset Overdrive sequel than you guys will get a Bethesda game.
Not just his Sunset Overdrive sequel, his Sunset Overdrive sequel releasing on the Nintendo Switch Pro.
Yeah.
Then this happening.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, not trying to, I'm a PlayStation guy. I can't wait to get, as I said, get a PS5 to play Ragnarok. But this is reality. This is the world we live in now.
People have to accept it.
I mean, I'm just gonna say you're better off holding out and just being a PC gamer.
Yeah, Sony proves they're bringing this stuff to PC. Microsoft brings all their stuff to PC.
Yeah, you just play the middle ground. You just win.
You know what, Chris? There's a web browser on PlayStation 5, isn't there?
Probably. I don't know. I don't browse the web on a console.
I was gonna say if there's a web browser, I'm gonna take everything I said back.
And
But you'll
try
have to
do game
subscribe to.
streaming.
You have to do game streaming through Game Pass. You go to Xbox.com. Was it /play or whatever
Something
it
like
is?
that.
So
Try Nvidia GeForce Now.
or GeForce.
Oh, so true.
But cool. All right. Unless there's anything else, we're gonna wrap it up here. It was a fun long episode. It's getting late, and I need to run to Target before they close.
Gotta get your Switch.
You got to start running. You got about 8 minutes.
Yeah. Right. Awesome. Well, thanks very much for listening. It's been a pleasure having each and every one of you, as well as you, Chris and Rich. It's been a blast. Anyways, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time around the campfire.